Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about something that is very important to me, that is something that I'm really good at, and that is goal setting. And at some point in time in my life, I used to teach nursing school. And when I was at the beginning of the class, I used to teach one of the classes was career development. And I would ask every individual person what their goals were. And I was actually pretty shocked that most people did not have goals. They couldn't think that far ahead. They didn't really know at the time what type of nurse they wanted to be, which is okay. They didn't know what they wanted to do with their nursing degree, but they also didn't know what they wanted to do in life. They had no goals of really chasing after, but here they were sitting in class going after this education to become a nurse, which was such a huge commitment. And they didn't really have any goals or follow through to something so major and so big. And I would on occasion go around kind of asking people when appropriate and the time comes, what are your goals? And even when it came to other entrepreneurs, other people would not be able to answer that question. And it could be small, it could be a personal goal. I was quite shocked how many people really just don't really think about it. And it can be something so little as far as I just want to have a little money in my savings account. And I am such a huge manifester and someone who is so goal oriented that it comes easy to me, because what I do is really, really think about something that I really, really want, and I will imagine it in great detail, in the most detail that I can think of. And I may not know all the detail because maybe it's not fully thought through altogether, and maybe sometimes some things don't have titles to it. For example, you don't know a job title if you're looking for your new next job, but you do know perhaps the characteristics of it. You do know things that you may like in this next job. You know the skills that you want to use. You know maybe what you want to work with, or who you want to work with, the hours you may want, the freedom you may want, certain things that whatever you do know at the time, put in as much detail as you can. And it should be something that you could absolutely verbalize, but it would be great if you could write it down and maybe keep a journal or write on a piece of paper, because at that point you're really making it pretty serious. And you don't have to show it to anybody. This is just for you. So if you could get a journal and write down the date for sure, you want to always make sure you have the date on it, and write down your list of all things that you want in this, example, you will find that it then allows for your brain to realize that this is what I want. Then the universe will put out the opportunity for these things to happen, and you will then seek out these different opportunities. You'll see it, you'll seize it, you'll grab it, you'll get it, and then you'll have exactly what you wanted. When it was time for one of the houses that I had bought in the past, I remember prior to it that I had the hopes and dreams of getting this one house. And at the time I was living in different apartments, and I could not see how I could possibly get from paying these high apartment rental prices to then having enough money to save to be able to get a house. I didn't know how that connection was going to happen or how it was going to work. But what I did was have an object of something to fixate on, as this is my goal. And it was something tangible, something I could see. And what I ended up doing was getting one of those door knockers made out of, mine was a black stainless steel type of door knocker, and I had my name engraved, my last name engraved on it. And I put it up on my shelf, my bookshelf, that I always looked at in my apartment. And I would look at this for years. This sat on my shelf. And I thought, when I get my new house, this will go on my door to my brand new house. This was one of the goals that I was seeking. And when I got serious and I wrote down on a piece of paper the exact specifications of what I wanted in this house, I'm talking about, I said I wanted my kitchen to have white kitchen cabinets. I wanted hardwood floors throughout. I wanted the island in the kitchen to have white countertops with glass flecks in it. And I even said how many bedrooms. I think I said I wanted 4 bedrooms, and I wanted to definitely have a garage with a driveway. I stated that I want to be able to blast my music and not have a neighbor hear me. I want the houses far enough apart that they weren't so close that I could blast my music and that they won't care, that they can't hear me. And I went on and on, with I want the yard and I want the space and I want all of these things. And I went down the list and created essentially this, house that I was dreaming of. I didn't really care about the exterior, about the looks per se. That was not something that mattered to me per se, because I just wanted these particular qualities. So I didn't really fixate on that part of it. But when I got really detailed with the list, that's when the opportunity came. And when I went to go actually see this house that was for sale, I walked in and I knew within a minute of being there that this was the house, and we bought it. And it had every single thing on my list. It even had the glass specks on the countertop that was white, and it was everything in my list. It didn't look the greatest on the outside. It was a split level house, and that was okay because I didn't care and didn't specify how I wanted it to look, but it had everything on my list. So when you are looking for something in the world, you really need to be very focused with the very details of it, because that's when you get serious about putting it out there in the universe and being able to seek out the opportunity to get it. Those things kind of just happen. So I think goals are, if you don't have goals, it's a lot like you're driving in a car and you don't know where you're going. There's no destination in sight. You're just driving around, kind of sightseeing, kind of wasting gas, but you don't know where you're going, so you don't know when you get there if that's the spot or not. There's just no purpose. And I think that the goals really help align you with a purpose and kind of help you to achieve all the things that you really, really want. You have to really take the time to think about it. So it's very, very important. And when you're done, it feels amazing that you've accomplished it. So, what are your goals?